fishing all of the time. Baby going fishing too. Let your life, your sweet wife, catch more fish than you. Many fish bites if you got good bait. Here's a little tip that I would like to relate. Many fish bites if you got good bait. I'm a going fishing, mama's going fishing, and the baby going fishing too.
Hi, welcome to the Fishing Show. I'm Rich Hall. This is Mike Wilmot. Today we're going to be going after the extremely canny and elusive carp. Now I'm going to defer to Mike on how to catch these fish because he's kind of the carp expert. Mike, what do we got today?
Well, amazingly, Rich, what I do is I come out on the boat. I like to bring about a half a loaf of bread and these handmade boilies. Now, these literally cost pennies to make. What you do is you get the doughy part of the bread. I'm going to rip that out now. Just throw the crust away. You don't need the crust. Now you take the boilie and you place her in the crust, rolling the, not the crust, but the actual doughy part of the bread around like that with the boilie on the inside. Now the boilie is a mixture of bird seed, fish meal, and some an extra flavoring, which in my case, I like to use just a little bit of strawberry jam. Can we see that at home? A little bit of strawberry jam. And this works amazing. Now, what you need is about 2 dozen of these, and that'll get you through a whole day of fishing.
I woke up this morning, and all my shrimp was dead and gone. I woke up this morning.
You know what you're doing there, right?
Oh, yeah.
All my shrimp was
You got to be safe. You know how to light a safe fire.
Yes.
Famous last words. Famous last words.
Je crois pour mes livres. Bon, les autres parts, c'est un café. Je veux pas aller à car. Allez, sors. Regarde plus, hein. En fait, les carillons, mais c'est le cochon. French, English. How I hate those languages.
Calm yourself, my dear Braun. In a short time, there will be only one language.
All right, I'll get right on that.
All right. Then I'll just wait for you, I guess, eh?
You don't have any brass monkeys, do you?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
We're looking for brass monkeys.
Brass monkeys?
Brass monkeys with balls. You know. Like, does it respond to temperature changes at all?
No, not at all.
What are these little things?
That's part of the body.
Oh, yeah.
Part of the body.
They don't really appear to have bullocks.
They don't have what?
Bullocks.
What are bollocks?
Like, it's kind of an essential part of a monkey.
These are monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
Swinging on the vines.
But again, they're like a little short on the nads, aren't they?
Nads.
Yeah.
Do you mean gonads?
You know when they say it's cold enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey?
But do you know where that comes from?
It's the cannonballs. I heard that it sat on a tray,
Yeah.
and when the temperature changed, sometimes the tray would shrink slightly. The
Right.
balls would fall off.
Right.
So that's why it's freezing the balls off a brass monkey.
So we're not talking about testicles at all.
No.
We're talking
it's
about cannonballs.
Correct.
Geez, Rich, if you keep going to New York, we're not going to have enough money left in the budget to get quality snacks. What's that?
This is a human eyeball.
Jesus Christ, where'd you get that?
Well, it's a long story. I'm in New York, right, doing this brass monkey research. And I'm walking down the street. All of a sudden, this guy starts calling me from an alleyway. You know, so I go over there. He says, I understand you're taking a little trip to London. Would you mind delivering this package for me? Looks a little misguided, but, you know, he's got that sort of youthful enthusiasm, you know. We had that once. I said, yeah, sure. He says, deliver this to a mosque. Now, I don't know what to make of this, right? He says, when you get over the ocean, flip this switch. Now, at that point, I started to think, well, maybe it's a bomb.
Yeah.
But that would be too obvious, right? Plus, it would be reinforcing a stereotype.
True.
I don't want to do that. But flip the switch, it starts to get colder.
Colder?
Yeah. Now my curiosity's really piqued. So when we land, I open it up. It's an eyeball. It's like one of those donor parts for one of those clerics who's like short of a few body parts. It's got to be what it is.
You gonna deliver this to the mosque?
Well, that's the dilemma, isn't it? Let's say the cleric gets his eyeball. Yeah. Okay. Let's also say he's militant. He's like anti-American, pro-terrorist. Now he's more physically equipped to practice this particular brand of evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like more functional, thus eviler. And on the other hand, maybe he responds to the kindness of the donor. Maybe he realizes that there's people out there he doesn't even know that are decent people, you know, no matter what color they are, religion, race, whatever. Now he lightens up. He feels better about the world. He quits trying to blow it up.
You can go either way, couldn't it? You got yourself quite a quandary there.
Nah, let's fish. Come on. You know where religion starts to get troublesome?
When?
Is when people start thinking that they're the chosen ones, you know. Yeah. God came down and chose us. Maybe God chose all of us. Maybe God uses the word chosen the way Brits use the word brilliant. There's 6 billion people on the planet. What are the odds that you're the chosen ones? Even if you are, you know, why feel the need to eliminate the competition? Some guy in the Senate, right? U.S. Senate.
Yeah.
He says, well, not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims. What a crock. What about that guy Timothy McVeigh? You remember him, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Oklahoma bomber? Homegrown American. Terrorist. Blew up that building. Went to the gas chamber with a Bible in his hand. The mayor came out and said, all right, it's okay to sell souvenirs of the event, the execution, as long as they're not tacky.
Jesus.
So it was a very tasteful execution. I understand Roberta Flack came and sang some light jazz standards. It was all very, very well done. What about Canada? You got religious nutters up there? You guys like worship pancakes, don't you?
Yeah, pancakes, maple syrup, back bacon. I had a religious experience once.
Really?
Yeah. But you know how there's always these religious crazy people on street corners yelling and babbling stuff?
Yeah.
So I'm walking down Piccadilly Circus. There's one of these crazy guys with a sign yelling, God's a sock! God's a sock! So I cut him a wide berth. Try to forget about it. Later on that day, I'm in a laundrette doing my laundry. So I'm sitting in there in a bin liner with neoprene diving boots on. And
You're wearing a bin liner?
I'm wearing a bin liner. Ran out of clothes. You couldn't see nothing. Anyway, I'm sitting there watching my laundry in the dryer going round and round and round. All of a sudden, I feel like light in my feet. And before I know it, I lift off the chair.
No.
Yeah, I'm hovering.
You lifted.
I lifted.
You
off-
hovered.
I hovered and lifted simultaneously off the chair. Before long, I'm up on the ceiling of the laundrette and getting weird looks from the customers. And I finally sort of wedge myself out. Before I know it, I'm airborne. I'm over London in a bin liner.
What?
Just up there, airborne, flying. Well, not exactly flying, more of a hover.
What was that like?
Upward hover. That was amazing. Okay? The wind caught me. Off comes the bin liner. Now I'm naked.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those. That's, it's called a, it's an out-of-clothes experience, right?
Right, correct. Yes. Anyway, I get a wash in all this white light, and I'm traveling down this tunnel. I look up, and there's this throne, and on the throne, there's a sock.
What?
a white sock on its own. And I look at the sock and I say, "You're God?" And the sock says, "That's right." I said, "Well, why didn't you tell anybody? You know, I could have slept in all those Sundays." And God said, "I only put a guy in the busiest street corner in the world with a sign." And I tell him, well, the guy was, sitting in his own urine. God told me, well, that was his idea. I guess what I'm saying is, you don't really know.
No, you don't.
God could be a sock. He could be a box of crackers. I mean, what the hell do we know? We know nothing. It's all a big crapshoot.
Well, you're not crazy. I mean, God could be anything. You know, there's all these religions. Only one of them can be right, conceivably, right? Could be a sock. Or you could just be fucking nuts.
Now, we have these guys up in northern Canada, okay? Living out in the snow, waiting for God to come to them, and protect them. God looks at these idiots saying, "You're wearing shoes made out of birch bark. I'm not going to be on your team." That's insane. They say they're survivalists.
Oh, survivalists.
Yeah, survivalists. That's not survivalists.
Yeah. No one's a survivor, except Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah, she can survive.
Yeah, but she's not a survivalist.
Not a survivalist.
No.
Well, I don't want to brag, but I'm a bit of a mountain man.
Are you?
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot for me to survive.
Really?
About 6 foot of fishing line, a fishing hook, and a metronome.
What?
That's all I need. You put me anywhere you want. I'll survive just on that.
All right.
Did I say metronome?
Metronome.
I meant matches.
Get in the boat. What happened to your shirt?
Cat ate it. Sometimes I just talk out of my ass.
They call it the fish.
So anyway, next thing I know, I'm living on the Volga with like this Parisian hooker, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened. It just did. Look at that.
Ceiling fans. Oh, here we go.
Who in their right mind would buy a ceiling fan?
There's no one around here at all. This guy's a lunatic. Have a seat. How you fellas doing? Buying or browsing?
Oh, browsing. We're just browsing.
Well, I know what you're thinking. You're looking at his face, the beard, the hair, and you're thinking, is this the fella who's going to give me the best deal on a ceiling fan ever and back it up with a warranty? That's what you're thinking.
We don't really need a ceiling fan.
No, we're staying in a tent. What'd you fellas come in here for? To tease me?
No. It's just that the last time we came by, you were a massage therapist, and now you're selling ceiling fans at the end of a dirt road, and you
You look like a serial killer. That's what we've been trying to tell you. You look like Charles Manson, the serial killer.
How many times do I have to go through this? I am not that Charles Manson. He's in prison in California for life.
But you got a swastika on your head.
What? It's not a swastika. It's a ceiling fan. What the hell's wrong with you? Huh? Nice and breezy, ain't it? Woo! I got wooden paddles, I got chrome paddles, I got those retro paddles, I got automatics, whatever you want. If I don't got it, I can get it in a week.
How many of these things have you sold?
What?
I said, how many of these things have you sold?
How many have I sold? Well, you'd be surprised. None. I don't know. Nobody wants to come down here and buy a fan from me, save a bundle. They want to go to Home Base or B&Q or someplace like that. Maybe they think that me, Charles Manson, who wouldn't hurt a fly, who sponsored a chimp, is going to, I don't know, tie him up, maybe. Carve my initials right in their sternum right there. Maybe dance around them with some naked hippie chicks. Fornicate. Maybe drop a little acid, play a little Beatles music. Shoot him with fresh human blood straight out of a water pistol. Psst. But that ain't me. Getting hot in here, ain't it?
You know, I'm not a religious guy or anything, but you can't help feeling closer to God out here, you know?
Yep, you're right.
I just wish we caught a little carp, you know? That would have been a perfect day.
Well, I thought you said they'd bite anything, Mike.
I thought they did, you know? We tried the corn, the maggots, we had those dough balls, even dog biscuits. Nothing worked.
I've been across the country. I've been through every town.
So, you know, Jesus was an okay guy.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I like him.
I got no problem.
I don't know if I buy the whole story, but, I mean, he was a carpenter, right?
Gotta like a carpenter, craftsman of any kind.
How come there's no remnants of his carpenterial skills, though? How come there's not like a Jesus chest of drawers or, you know, a stool or a table lamp that he made? There's nothing.
He was pretty busy.
He was busy. That's where the term bejesus came from.
In what way?
Well, when, you know, he was supposed to be working on houses, right? He would, instead he'd be out performing these miracles and teaching. So he would hire other guys who looked like him to do the work. You know, long hair, sandals. They looked like him, but they weren't him. They were called Bee-Jesuses.
Okay.
And they did shoddy work. So, the person who hired him would walk over and say, "Hey, my drywall, it's crap. Who did this?" Bee-Jesus over there. And then they'd punch him. That's where the term to knock the Bee-Jesus out of someone comes from. We've all got a bit of Jesus in us. That's what Bee-Jesus is.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's 0.000000003%. Bejesus. That's what we all have in us.
Really?
So if I hit you, the bejesus comes out of you. It's like a very thin white powder. You can barely see it with the naked eye.
What about the willies?
It's more of a mist.
Wow. You're like a doctor.
I don't expect everyone to know this stuff.
Catfish boogie woogie boogie woogie boogie woogie. Catfish boogie woogie boogie woogie boogie woogie. Catfish boogie, do it baby with me.
I think we're doing a lot of people a favor with this one, Mike.
Yeah?
I hate magic.
What do you got against magic?
It's a black art.
Oh.
It's godless.
Well, he's not going to be able to do anything back, is he? Like some kind of spell or anything?
No, it's Paul Daniels.
Oh, that's right. He's shitty.
He'd probably sing.
Oh, I hope not. Make my job easier.
He is Britain's most famous magician.
Really?
Now, try to name Britain's second most famous magician.
Okay.
He's Britain's only magician. Crap. You see, Mike, on the showbiz evolutionary ladder, you got to understand. You've got plate spinners.
Right.
Then you've got stand-up comedians. Whoa. Below that, you've got Robbie Williams impersonators.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Magicians.
Uh-huh.
Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
Magic.
Wow.
Here's a coin. Now it's gone. You're an idiot. Hey, now it's back again. You're an asshole. That's all magic is. Nice day, yeah, Paul?
You've got a very nice place here.
Ah, thank you very much. This is a...
It's not much, but we call it home.
Watch your step there. You don't want to get hurt.
Shall I get in first?
I'll be in first.
Okay.
That's Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hello, Paul.
Yeah. Do you want me to cast it off?
Nah, I'll do that. You just take it easy.
You picked up a bit of dross?
I've got something there.
Ah, you lost it. I wasn't talking about you there, Mike.
Now, who would be your all-time favorite magician?
Oh, modesty prevents me naming myself.
That would be you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you have any of that ointment? My finger's getting really itchy.
Take it easy, Mike. So, are you a religious man at all?
No, I used to be.
What made you lose your religion?
I passed out on a plane. Yeah, I really collapsed. I went boom, because I went to sleep on the floor because the seats were never comfy, you know.
Right.
And there's not much oxygen down there, they told me later.
Yeah.
And the next day I was in Egypt someplace, and the guy said, "You've been mugged?" And I said, "No, not really, I passed out." I said, "It was really interesting, I just was unaware of it." He says, "Yeah, I think death's like that." And I went, "Yeah. One day I'm going to feel, I don't feel very,
yeah,
you know." Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So nice to see you once again.
Fancy yourself a singer, do you, Paul?
Well, you know, people are, you know, when you're doing, like I did all those years of TV, you've got to create as much variety as possible. So I would do anything. I would dress up like Mike there, you know, and be a detective.
Well, it's nice to have you singing. Thank God you're not going to do any card tricks.
Now, it's funny you should say that. Okay. There's a back card. Think of one.
Right,
okay. Have you seen one? Yeah?
Yeah.
And it's in there. It's a cherry-coloured card.
No, it's not.
You've never heard of black cherries? I think I lived through a great time, you know. I really did.
Mike, you all right?
I'm holding back.
What am I talking about? I'm still living through a great time.
Yeah, it's not over for you yet.
This is good.
Enjoy.
A lot of people think, hell, I'm in show business. But I don't. I think I'm in show business, you know?
Yeah.
And
Sing us some more opera, Paul. Come on, sing us a little Italian opera.
Oh, no. Sono inglese, non parlo italiano.
Sing.
I think you are. You bully.
Sing, Paul.
Ah! Many, many years ago, when I was 23, I was married to a widow, was as pretty as could be. The widow had a grown-up daughter who had hair of red. Now, my father fell in love with her, and soon the two were wed. This made my dad my son-in-law. It changed my very life. My daughter became my mother because she was my father's wife. To complicate the matter, though it only brought me joy, I soon became the father of a bouncing baby boy. My little baby then became a brother-in-law to Dad, and so became my uncle. Now that made me very sad, because if he was my uncle, then he also was the brother of the widow's grown-up daughter, who was also my stepmother. All together now.
I'll show you a fucking magic trick.
Hey, you ever heard that old Scottish traditional song about the whiskey truck deliveryman?
No.
It's good. Made it halfway into Galloway, and all the way into Borders. Must have passed 10 cops on the fly. Take a drink every time I think of your restraining orders. Tonight the malt is single, so am I. I'm shifting gears through these tears, hauling whiskey the livelong day. 8 tons of friends, and each name begins with Glenn. Tonight they're behind me all the way. It's just this old truck cab and a lumpy futon, but I still see you when I close my eyes. You took my dreams, now my self-esteem's about the size of a crouton. Tonight the malt is single, so am I. I'm eating cornflakes from a Frisbee with a shoehorn for a spoon. Tell me, darling, do you ever miss me? Can I call you? Can I please come home soon? Take a drink every time I think about the nights I waited. How you left and you never said why. Might be more religious. Gotta not make measures! Fuck! Teacher! Fuck it! God! Tonight the malt is single, so am I. The thing is, you know, don't take religion that seriously. You know, Mike, biblical scholars, they won't admit it, but the Bible is actually rife with sarcasm. Really? Sarcasm through and through. I'll give you an example. Mark, chapter 4, verse 13. Quote, Mary rode Joseph's ass all the way to Bethlehem. Come on, that's pure sarcasm. Or when Luther of Nazareth met Jesus, you know what he said? I've seen better miracles with Smokey Robinson. That's in the Bible.
You made that second one up, didn't you?
Shut up and go to sleep.
All right.
Turn that thing back on. It's getting stuffy in here.
You know, it is cooler